Welcome to the Heart for God podcast. With many years of experience pastoring and helping to start churches, Dr. Jim Townsley has some practical and biblical advice that can be a great help to you and your ministry. On this podcast, Dr. Townsley and other guests with special expertise cover a variety of topics. His goal is to help you lead your church to be a healthy, strong, and balanced ministry, and for your family to be happy, healthy, and living for the Lord.
Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast today. Glad you joined us. And today I'm with Missionary Sam Hodges, and we are in Honduras, Sabana Grande, and we've been having a great week with the leadership conference. And Brother Hodges, good to be with you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
And you've been in Honduras for a while.
28 years. Yep.
And your wife, Julie, is right by your side, and she's a go-getter.
Yep, all the way.
And the ministry has become quite extensive over a period of time. Tell me a little bit about the ministry that people would hear what you're doing.
Okay. Well, back in 1998, we arrived in Honduras in 1997, and for 6 months, we just sort of spun our wheels trying to figure out, where the Lord would have us to work. We helped a pastor, a little church up in the mountains for about 6 months, and we would go up there and help with their services. And then we saw the town of Sabana Grande, which is about 45 minutes south of the capital. And so we decided to just try to start having services in the town of Sabana Grande and see what the Lord would do. So we rented a house and we fixed the living room up into a little auditorium, some wood benches and a pulpit. And Julie was about 8 months pregnant with Joseph when we had our first service. Mm-hmm. So we had our first service, and about 4 or 5 Sundays after that, she had Joseph. And so we just started from there in the living room of a house, and we were there for 2 years. And then we purchased property right outside of the town. And I'll tell you a little bit about how that come about. I was looking for property in the town of Sabana Grande. There was nothing available. Anything that we could find was just a small little lot, probably 50 feet by 50 or 60 feet, and just really small places. And we wanted a little bit of a bigger place, but there wasn't anything that we could find. And so someone took me outside of the town, probably a half a mile outside of the town, and showed me it was a large piece of land, about 6 acres of land. And, but it was to be honest, it was the nothingest nothing you ever seen in your life. I mean, it was just up and down hills. There was no flat spot. But we had a group from the States, a construction group who was coming down to build our church building, and I didn't have property for them to build on. And so I was a little nervous about that. So I just bought it and said, this is not what I want at all. This is not the kind of land I want. It's not where I want it. It's just not anything that I want. But I bought it because I didn't have much of a choice. And we got a backhoe in and pulled dirt from the high spots and threw it in the low spots and leveled off a few places. And now, 28 years later, we see exactly why God was giving us a piece of land outside of the town and not right in the town square where we could have only had a small lot, small church, and no parking space or anything like that. So the Lord really worked there.
Yeah. Well, where'd you get? I mean, you just are here 2 years, and people are relatively poor here in this country. Where'd you get the money to buy the land and build a building?
Well, the land at that time, and we're right along the Pan American Highway. The land at that time, it was only about $4,500.
Oh wow!
It would be worth probably 20 times that now. But it was really cheap. So we of course could come up with money to buy that. But as far as the buildings, we began to go back. We went back home to the States. We began to go around to our supporting churches and ask if there were men in the church who would, had experience in building, who would be willing to come down and help us put up a church building. And we had three teams right in a row. One done the foundation, another helped come up with the walls, and then the third one came in and put the roof on it. So that was a big help.
Yeah, that's something. Wow. And that first building is just one of many, many buildings now.
Right. Yeah, that our original building is now the children's church, the half of it, and the other half we use. We have a kitchen and a cafeteria and a couple office rooms up there for our school.
Okay, and then when did you have a Christian school? When did you start the school?
We started the Christian school in 2006, and our children were going to school in the capital city because they have English schools there, and we wanted them to go to an English school that had English curriculum. They used mostly the Abeka books, a lot of their books that they used in that particular school. And after 3 years of that, we could see that the school just wasn't going in the direction. It was supposed to be a Christian school, but there wasn't much Christian about it. And so I told my wife after the third year, I said, look, Brooklyn, our youngest, will be going into kindergarten, and we'll have 3 in school next year. So I'm going to give you 2 choices. Either we're going to homeschool them next year, or we can just start our own Christian school. And you can teach 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever kids along with our kids. And my wife didn't really hesitate very long. She's like, well, if I'm going to teach our 3, be stuck with them all day, I'll just take everybody else's kids in and we'll start a school. So we did. We had 27 students the first year.
Was that all in English?
Yeah, it's English. It's all English school. We use the Abeka books. It's the same, exact same as a Christian school in the States, but we do have a Spanish class added onto it, and that
okay.
The government even asked that because they don't want the kids to be fluent in English and not adept at their own language. So,
okay, and now the school has
230, like 235, something like that. Yeah, it's grown a lot,
and it's all English, English.
Yeah, it's all English. Yep.
And then you have teachers that come from the States, and they can come here without knowing Spanish. I mean, it'd be helpful, I guess, but. They can come. Everything's taught in English, right?
Right. So we'll recruit teachers from the States, preferably that they come from a Bible college with a degree in elementary education, but not all of them, elementary or secondary education, but not all of them. We've had like a graphic designer, people in different career fields, different degrees. And they come down, and I'm like, yeah, we'll take you because we can't be extremely choosy, because there's a big need. And so they'll come down and they do a good job, really good job.
You offer housing for some of the.
Yeah, so we have housing here on our campus for the teachers, and all of their utilities are paid, and then we're able to give them some cash as well so that they can buy their groceries, and the ones who are more frugal, they even save money. They save money while they're here, even on a small salary, because there's really nothing to spend it on.
Okay. Yeah. And now you have a Bible Institute, college, seminary.
Yes. We started the Bible Institute. I had just a 2 hours. Every Thursday night, we had just a small Bible Institute for the people in our church, and we done that for probably a year and a half or 2 years. And then we had some who wanted more complete training for the ministry. So in 2010, we started our Bible college, full-time Bible college, and within a couple of years of that, we were able to have an on-campus where they could live on campus and eat in the cafeteria and that type of thing. So that's really what our goal was, and that's what we have now. They live here. We have a men's dorm, a ladies' dorm, and a cafeteria. and that provides all of their meals and everything. So it's just like a complete Bible college now.
So churches or different connections that you have, there's mostly in Nicaragua, or not Nicaragua, but in Honduras, they're sending kids in, and there's one girl from Guatemala, I think.
Right. Yeah, there are a lot of the Baptist churches are up in the northern part of the country. And we're more in the southern part of the country, but so the majority of our students would even come from the northern part, but we do get some from the capital as well. Of course, some from our own church. But yeah, pastors are hearing about our Bible college. We have a video. So during our youth camp or any kind of conference that we have where a lot of other people come in, we show the video about our Bible college and explain to them what we offer. And we of course can also offer them work. Since we have the Christian school in the afternoon, they can work to pay most of their tuition and their room and board. So that's a big plus because most of them do not have just the cash money to pay for that.
Sure. Now there are a lot of positives, I guess, to being here as a missionary because the climate is almost perfect. I mean, you're in the mountains. It's not too hot during the day.
Right.
It'll cool out at night. Right. You get a breeze most of the time.
Yep.
I mean, that part's terrific. And it's very affordable. I mean, it's a lot cheaper here, it seems like, than what you would have to pay in the States.
Yeah. You can, and some Americans are retiring here. You can, if you had $1,000, $1,200 a month, you could live fine in this country because you can rent a nice place out here in the country for $350 a month.
Wow.
And the groceries are cheap. Your electric bill may run you, between $40 and $60 a month, depending how much, you use. And there's very little expense to live in. So there are Americans that want to come here and retire and they can hire people to keep their lawn and cook their food and everything on that much money.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But it's still pretty backward. I mean, I don't see any high rises. There's no interstate highways and
right. There, yeah, in the capital city and in San Pedro, there are. If you go to the sort of the commercial part, I guess, of town, they do have some like office buildings and condos and things like that. And it has, in the 28 years that we've been here, Honduras is, believe it or not, is really developed.
Okay.
So it's a lot more developed now than 30 years ago. But it's still, we're just 45 minutes out of the capital. It is like going back in time 150 years because it's not very developed out this way.
So the people, by and large, don't drive that. I mean, there are people, I guess, more are getting cars, but you have to run buses to pick most people up, right?
Yeah. Still, a lot of people don't have an automobile. Yeah, more people, especially the younger generations, they're all getting automobiles. But there's still a lot of people who don't have an automobile, who don't have a driver's license. They never bother to get their. It's not like in the States, everybody, as soon as you turn 16, you're going to get a driver's license. And here, they just, I'm not going to have a car, so I'm not going to get a driver's license. And so you see a lot of that.
But you've seen great results. I mean, the church runs 400 or 500.
Yeah, about 400. Yeah, during this time of the year, 4 to 450, and then in the summer months it'll drop off a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, the Lord has blessed you. You have great impact in the area, and you have all these things going on in camps. And we were here at a leadership conference, but it's not that way all over the country. I mean, you still need churches in Honduras,
yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Well, definitely we do, Pastor Townsley. And the thing is, I'm not sure if we need more churches or the churches that are already here really need to be developed a lot better. Because what has happened is a lot of missionaries started churches, and the development of the churches was very just in really basic development, and then they would move on to go somewhere else. So the churches, they would leave a pastor sometimes even poorly trained, and the churches just really have a hard time advancing, because you have to remember, as long as a church or a work is in the hands of a missionary is able to, usually has the funds to buy things for the church, and buy a van or a bus and buy nice chairs and different things for the church. But as soon as that work is passed over into the hands of a national pastor, it's that part of the material development of the church a lot of times is it's a lot tougher, because they're not going to have the money. So it's really better if a missionary can really get a church up to a really strongly to a really strong position before they pass it over to a national pastor, so that he's got some kind of resources to work with there.
Yeah. So to get that church to the point they can support a pastor, it's going to take a while, because people by and large are poor. You're probably going to have more kids than and less adults, but it just takes time. You got to invest your life here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And over the year, when we started, we just really, it was among the poorer class that we were working with. That's really all we could get to come. And then some of those poor class have developed into more middle class people, and that's been good to see. And now with our facilities here, we have nice facilities and good place to park cars and all of that. And our for Honduras. And you're going to see that tomorrow in the church service, we wouldn't consider it maybe really orderly by American standards, but by Honduran standards, people come and they're like, wow, your church everything is done in order. Everything is clean and nice, for this country. So that's impressive to the upper class people. So we're starting to get them in now, because they want to go to a place that's got clean bathrooms and, does things in order.
Sure. Yeah. So you've been here quite a while now. So what do you think your greatest needs are? I know you really have, since you're still missionary and have support, there are people praying for you. And I know that's always a priority. You need wisdom. There are a lot of issues you face. But where are you right now in this ministry? What are you thinking about for the future? What would be your greatest need?
Well, as far as for the future, our goals, we're not really very far off from our goals. We would like to start at least one more bus ministry. We've got 5 right now, so we would like to get up to 6, and that would stabilize the attendance of the church. And we have a strong church staff. All that's doing really good. Our Bible Institute, or our seminary, is what we would really like to see grow. We're at 20 right now. We would like to see that at 40. And just to be able to produce more pastors and pastors' wives and missionaries, and to man, the churches here in Honduras. There's just so many needs where there are churches. The pastors are dying, or getting old, and they need someone to replace them.
Well, that sounds like the States.
Yeah.
We need laborers. We need young people.
Yep.
So, well, it's been great to be here, and hopefully I've been a blessing, and we'll look forward to the services tomorrow. Folks, thanks for listening on the podcast today.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider sharing it with a friend. You can also follow at Dr. Townsley on Twitter, or on Facebook at Jim Townsley.